Tam in 3, 2. Hello, and welcome back, everybody. It's been quite a while since I've checked in on the world of Yarnam, but today Yarnam is being renamed Yarntam because,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, I have Tamoor Hussein from GameSpot joining me today. Tam, how's it going, buddy?
it's going well. I'm excited to get into some Bloodborne with you. I'm watching on Twitch because of the various technical uh, restrictions that we have. So my advice and my commentary will probably be slightly delayed, but I'm still hyped to be here.
And I
Um,
appreciate every little bit of advice you can give me.
to be honest, like you've been doing pretty well. Like I think the hardest part of playing Bloodborne is the tenacity to keep continuing. And I think you've got a pretty level head. I've seen a lot of people really get frustrated, but you have got a almost fighting game mentality, which I
Hmm.
know you would have, but like really analytical about it and then coming back and trying your best. But you're still identifying stuff that's maybe a bit bullshitty when it needs to be.
Thanks, dude. I
Because
appreciate
that is
that.
there.
Um, I didn't realize until I loaded the game back up. Tam, are you familiar with Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh yeah.
I realize I look like a very tan Giles. Um,
You really do.
yeah. Uh, so I'm
So,
going.
do you
Go
know
on. Yes.
do you know the thing about the actor that portrays Giles?
Is he's not a scumbag, is he?
No, he's not a scumbag. So Anthony Stewart Head, I think it is,
Mm-hmm.
his name. He's a beloved actor. Obviously he played Giles and is well known. He's meant to be a really nice guy, but he has not but he has a physical deformity, which
Oh.
it's very unknown. And when you know it and you go back to watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it
Uh
kind
huh.
of makes you pay attention to the way they frame him. He's always like angled so you can't see one of his hands. And it's because he
Oh.
has a deformity with one hand. Obviously, I'm not trying to, talk smack about that. Like
Oh
he's
yeah,
a
yeah,
wonderful
totally.
person and he's
Yeah.
great and stuff. It's just interesting that it's never even picked up on and it wasn't a thing back in the day. But when you go back and watch it, you'll see the way he's framed is very specific, so you can't see his hand. Um,
Never would have known.
but yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Uh,
a little Anthony Stewart head fact for you.
I'm glad you could provide that today. Let me just update something here. And Tamoor from GameSpot. So what's been keeping you busy in this quarantine life?
So I reviewed Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Ooh, I just wasted a bullet. Fuck. Um,
Um,
yeah, I've been playing that too,
yeah,
man. I saw your review, and I think you like it. Um,
I really do. I gave it a 10 out of 10.
yeah.
And it's my first 10 out of 10 ever.
Really? Wow,
Yeah,
dude.
I've never given a 10 out of 10. And it's in a week where two 10 out of 10s have been given. Michael Hyam obviously gave Persona 5 Royal a 10 out of 10.
Oh, that
It's
guy.
unprecedented. So two 10 out of 10s. But yeah, I love that game. It hit, as to borrow a phrase that's frequently used in the GameSpot community, it hit different. It hit different.
Yeah, a hundred
Um,
percent, dude. Did you have like a fondness for the original at all, or?
yeah, so when I talk about my fondness for the original, I'm very consciously like reining it back a bit and trying to be a little more methodical and like almost suck some of the fervent passion out of it, because in talking about the game I don't want my nostalgia for it to color any impression that I would have come at this in a different way. So I identified that I had a nostalgia for it, even in the review, whether that's the written review and the video review, because I don't want people to think, oh, this guy's just a fan, so he's ratcheting it up a bit.
Right,
Like,
right.
and I think like I'm not saying I did something special. That's something that most reviewers will do. Any reviewer worth his salt, anyway. Certainly the ones at Giant Bomb and GameSpot.com. Uh, but like I have a lot of nostalgia for that game. I think this game doesn't leverage that as its only trick, if you get what I mean. It goes
Yeah,
beyond.
yeah, totally. Oh fuck. Sorry. Um, oh, nuts. Yeah, there's just like a bunch of stuff in Final Fantasy VII, the remake, and like Ben and I actually like hadn't. We missed the boat, you know, and to kind of revisit that now would kind of be hard, I guess.
Yeah, I think Jeff mentioned it on the bombcast at some point, but like, it's a hard game to go back to. It might have been Brad actually. It's a hard game to go back to now. It's aged visually more than most games would, because
Yeah,
it
I didn't.
it
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead.
back in the day it did a lot. Like it was there weren't very many games of that scale. It was one of those like games where when you got it and it was on 4 discs, the fact that it was on 4 discs was a big thing. You were like, holy moly, they couldn't contain this thing into 1, 2, or 3 discs. It required 4 discs. Um, and because of the scale of it and the ambition there, and like the pre-rendered backgrounds and the cutscenes, which were stunning back then, a lot of like qualifications or concessions needed to be made in the visual style. So it's very blocky and it's early days game. So playing it nowadays is rough.
Yeah, Ben and I have been like watching a like a playthrough with no commentary, and I guess like in my memory of the game, I remember it looking really nice because I see it at kiosks, at Toys R Us, GameSpot, etc. But looking at that now, it looks like just a bunch of Lego, which is funny.
Exactly. Yeah, it kind of reminds me. It's funny because there's a couple of games of that era that I hold quite dear, but like if you show it to anyone else, it looks so stupid. So one of them is Final Fantasy, where everyone looks like Lego, and the other one's Metal Gear Solid, where instead of having lip movement to talk, they move their entire head. So it's like weird Muppet movements of their head. So it's hilarious to watch, but like it's endearing at the same time. But yeah, it's a rough game to go back to. But I feel like what you said, the fact that you're liking it, the fact that Ben's liking it, and that someone like me can come to it, and yeah, yeah, someone like me can come to it and enjoy it. It really speaks to the fact that this isn't just a nostalgia play.
So Tam, speaking about nostalgia, partially because of you and your high praise of Bloodborne, I've chosen to revisit this or visit this for the first time, and this is the first time I've summoned someone. And this dude just has a giant fucking hammer. Can I get this hammer?
You can get that hammer later. If I remember correctly, I can't see it. Yeah, he's got the Kirk hammer, so you'll get that later on. So as you defeat bosses and reach various milestones, the messengers will update their inventory, and you can buy that stuff. That hammer is good. It's fun. This is a good boss fight to summon.
This is a boss fight?
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought it'd be spaced out more.
So one thing.
Oh fuck!
Spoilers.
I didn't. Said that. No, it's fine. We were about to walk into it anyway. God
so one
it.
thing I should say is when you summon, bosses become slightly harder.
Oh, bag of dicks.
But it's not like undoable hard. It's just to not to trivialize it.
If he dies, he just dies?
If he dies, he dies. If he lies, he lies.
Fun. Great. Oh boy, this guy's just jumping.
So the Bloodstar Beast is one of the trickier bosses. If that character dies, you can summon him again. It's not a problem. You'll be able to bring him back again.
Okay.
In another attempt.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, he's a pretty good distraction. I thought they'd give me time before a boss. I thought I was gonna fight the Gatling gun guy. Okay. All right. Remember how to play the game. I can't stop time magically.
No cure.
No cure. When's the last time? Leave me alone. When's the last time you played through Bloodborne?
I finished it maybe a couple weeks ago.
Oh shit!
I'm constantly playing Bloodborne. Like I always play Bloodborne, and that's not an understatement or a joke. It's like I'm constantly playing Bloodborne. I'm currently redoing it. I've got the platinum in it, and I've still played it maybe 4 times since getting the platinum.
Jeez.
I wrote about this on GameSpot a little while back, and just like a blurb before we were playing. But it's a place that feels like home, which is something that I frequently really need as someone who's just moved to a different country and
Right.
is away from my natural home. Like this is a game I played when I was at home, and it's a place that I've become intimately familiar with. But returning to it brings me comfort, which sounds mad because it's an incredibly hostile world.
Oh no, I can
You're
see
doing
that.
real good here. You're doing incredibly well here. Yeah, you're doing real good here.
Can I? Oh, I could visceral. Oh wow, he visceraled the dude for me. That's cool.
Yeah, they function the same way that you do.
Oh, I died. I was not looking at my health. I died.
See, the Twitch is slightly
Poison.
behind, so I've not seen that yet.
I
So how do you want me to approach this in terms of tips?
I just need you here as like a friend and a companion. Yeah, it's just support.
Okay.
If I'm doing
Bloodstarved Beast you're doing good. So the Bloodstarved Beast, the tricky thing about him is like those flaps of skin. They're designed to throw you off because it looks like they're attacking. The physics makes them move in a way that they're constantly moving towards and away from you. So like try and focus on a part of his body when you're doing your own movements. And there is like this isn't a spoiler, but it might help you slightly.
Okay.
There's an item that you probably have in your inventory that can be useful for you. So maybe take a scroll through your items and read some item descriptions and see what you think could work on him.
That is a thing I keep saying I'll do in between episodes of this show, and I never do.
Yeah.
I could not tell you to save my life what the story of this game is.
It's a tricky one. So
I've also been told I haven't got to like the really heavy lore parts just yet.
the lore, at least to start with, it's very drip fed to you. It is in the item descriptions, but there's a point in the game where like it goes from 5 to 10, and like it's very much a like, all right, we're gonna turn this game into something that you didn't expect, and now we're gonna hit you hard.
There's another one of these guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
Okay, all right. Hey, it's this
So,
thing.
I also like served as companion and guide for Andy Cortez from Kind of Funny,
yeah.
who was playing this game, and the approach that he took was he just played the game, and then afterwards I sent him a bunch of lore videos to watch, and honestly, that is as good an experience in understanding. That's part of the charm of this game.
Okay.
Like you'll have pieces of the story, and they will be meaningful to you, and you'll have moments. But then when you watch something like that, it puts it all into context, and you realize, oh, that's what that meant. It's kind of designed in, so the story. I'm sure you've heard it a million times about the way Miyazaki writes his stories.
Yeah.
So he grew up poor. I'll repeat it just in case people don't know it. So he grew up poor, and all he really had to kind of entertain himself was books and D&D and that kind of stuff. But it was often English books, so he didn't have the understanding of it. But what he would do is take the bits that he understood and fill in the gaps himself in between, and just create lore for himself. And that's very much how he writes his games. There's just pieces everywhere. You won't understand all of it until someone fills in the gaps for you.
Oh, skin flaps. Oh. What weapons you start out with?
So I started with the axe because I like the charge R2 on it. It's like a spinning, whirling attack that knocks people back. You pick the hardest weapon to start with.
I've been told that numerous times.
But I mean, you could switch it up anytime you want. If you go to the messages, you can buy the axe.
I think I found a spear thing.
Yeah, the spear is tricky as well.
Oh, I'm just wasting all my bullets. Up, is that? Okay, that's how I do that. Remember that. So after I beat Father G, I thought I was in a good spot. Turns out I'm still very early.
Oh yeah, you have so much to go. This is still very, very early game. But like it's every step you take is really, really fun and interesting. I say that within the context of fun and interesting in a Bloodborne world. So it's terrifying and like unnerving and incredibly challenging, but it's so satisfying. Like you will be constantly surprised by the things that you're doing and seeing.
Okay. All right.
There's things happening around you in the game right now that you're just not aware of.
No.
So, if you think the stuff that you're seeing right now is like weird and gross, wait till your eyes are really open into what happens. Like that's a whole like theme of this game. Opening your eyes to the knowledge beyond. Yes, mate. What a visceral there.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Banger. You're doing solid here.
I'm learning. It's making me want to revisit or visit the other Souls-like games. Did you like Sekiro at all?
So I reviewed Sekiro for us for GameSpot. I gave it a 9 out of 10. It was my game of the year. It was GameSpot Game of the Year. I was the main proponent of giving it Game of the Year last year. Was fortunate enough to hand the award for Game of the Year to Miyazaki himself.
Oh, I ran out of bullets.
Yeah, so I adore Sekiro. I think Sekiro is more of a fighting game than
Okay.
so it's Sekiro. I treat it as like I think of it as the third Street Fighter 3 third strike of Souls games.
That's an awesome way to put it.
The whole game is about the Daigo Evo moment phase over and Harry. It is 100% that. It's all based on that. So if you enjoy that kind of game, it's such a satisfying game. I think the skills you pick up here will transfer over there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Alfred. Get in there. Alfred is doing a solid job.
Yeah, Alfred's definitely saving my butt. Because I think I'm definitely playing a little bit more conservatively than I would normally.
No, this is smart. Whether you know you're doing it or not, you're very evenly controlling the aggro. If you go in too hard, the Bloodstock will switch to you and then overwhelm you. But you're stepping in, hitting him, drawing the aggro, but then letting Alfred come in and take it off you. So that's pretty good strategy.
Leave me alone. Wow, that poison goes by fast, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's okay. No. We're doing so well. I want to impress my friends. So Tam, there's a thing you do on Twitter very often, and you insert. I feel like you and I are cut from the same cloth in this aspect, and that we insert our names where appropriate in. I'm dying. Use this antidote. Will this heal me now? Okay. Oh, bag of penises. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If that, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway.
You know, we will love that game.
Leave me alone.
I'm still watching you fight. I can't tell if you're dead.
I'm still good.
Come on, Future Gen, we can do it.
I think do I have another one of these things? Take that! Oh, I think I threw it at Alfred. And Alfred's gone.
You're good.
Stop it! Leave me alone! No. No. Okay. Okay, let's run this way. We're almost there. And we're still poisoned. Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, so we funny and we insert our names into fuck.
I'm trying to figure out what's happening to yourselves.
He's almost there. Wall.
Yes.
Wall. Leave me alone. I just need this antidote.
You're one hit on my screen. You're one hit. Come on.
Okay. Oh, no, I didn't want to throw that there. It is. No, I'm so close. Damn it.
Go ahead. Go in. do it? Oh no! No!
I didn't want to disappoint you, Tam.
Oh no! Yeah,
I thought
absolutely hate to see it.
you hate to see it. I
You
feel
hate
like
to see it.
trying to remember a very. I feel like God, what was his name in the finals of the NBA a couple years ago? He was on the same team as LeBron on the Cavs, and then he totally threw the ball the wrong way because he thought we were in the lead. I feel like that
Oh,
guy.
yeah. Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name, but I've seen that clip.
J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith. That's the
Okay.
gentleman's name. Oh, okay. Well, I'm in my
was good.
history. In my history of facing these bosses, I did better than I thought I would. Losing Arthur was a big detriment.
Alfred, get his name right.
Alfred.
Why do we fall, Master Wang?
Tam, what have you been watching, like outside of work and stuff? Because I see that you and Lucy are doing the Westworld recaps and stuff.
Yeah, we do Westworld breakdowns on GameSpot Universe on YouTube and on site. So I've been watching a lot of that. It's real good this season. Last season was a bit rough, but it's been good. Beyond that, I'm doing the kind of watching a lot of streams. So I watch you guys pretty much daily, and have you guys on in the background and for stuff. So I'm watching your streams. I check out like Kind of Funny and a few others. Like I'll watch some IGN stuff here and there as well. They have a bunch of good fun series. So it's a lot of like getting into streamers more than usual. Usually I'm like 1 or 2 days a week I'll catch up with what everyone's doing, but now it's just I feel like it's that attempt to try and create that sense of being around people again. And weirdly enough, I think the current circumstances have been very eye-opening for the mainstream in terms of their mentality towards gaming, where you get a lot of people like the CDC even like recommended you should be playing more video games now than ever. And it's like, yeah, we know, we've been saying this for years. They help us communicate and like build friendships. And then at the same time, like the value of streaming and having these online communities is now more apparent than ever. So I know it's not news to anyone here, but like I've been getting into that way more as well than I would ordinarily. I've been making a conscious effort to play more games with other people and get involved in communities. And like I've always been hanging around the Giant Bomb community, but like I'm trying to find more and get into more. So
Yeah.
a lot of that.
Literally never been a better time, given the circumstances.
There has never been a better time to be a Giant Bomb community subscriber.
Oh, thank you for the plug.
There
I was going to try and work it in somehow eventually, but you did my job for me.
Subscriber, so so
Tam, I'll get you like the special abilities. No, I'm not. I realized my stock on everything was very low. Nope, that didn't do the thing I needed to. Also, Alfred's not doing hot this round.
yeah, he's going a bit. He's feeling spicy.
Yeah.
Let's hope he backs off for a bit. And no.
Oh,
he wants
Alfred,
to go
why?
in. He wants to go in.
I had him. The sound went off. Okay. Is this what it's?
Is Bloodborne easier than Sekiro? I've been playing Sekiro after being Fallen Order. I think Sekiro is probably a more demanding game. It requires so the way you separate Sekiro versus the other Souls games is there's an element of freedom in how you approach each of the challenges within those games, Souls and Bloodborne. Like whether that's through the way you attack and defend, or whether the way you build your character. It's almost like they're creating a challenge and then giving you various points to figure it out. Whereas Sekiro is they create a challenge and there's one specific way to defeat it. You need to be, I describe it as like, you need to put yourself into the mindset of the designer, figure out what they wanted you to do to pass this challenge.
Oh, shit.
Oh, so Sekiro is probably harder because there's less flexibility in how you. You're still good. You're good.
I don't. I'm not gonna spoil what is gonna happen, but
Okay.
okay. I think if my hubris didn't get to me earlier, and I didn't pull a J.R. Smith, I could have made that final throw.
So there's one thing to consider, which
Okay.
I won't say you should do this. It's just a not recommendation, but like your whip mode is good for crowd control, but in situations like this, it's less effective. It's got more of a travel time and it's less consistent.
Okay.
So if you got a shorter range with your standard sword, but it's more
Copy.
reliable.
I see someone asking in the chat, more Tamoor, less game. And I'll make that happen.
What's that mean? That shouldn't be the case. Bloodborne always comes before everyone. I respect it.
Tam, what's the best use of your name you've used recently?
Oh, I can't. I've tried to slow down because I know when it's getting old. And it definitely got old maybe 5 attempts at it before. But so I'm now like I'm going slower and slower. But a recent one I did like was I took a screenshot from Persona 5 of Kamoshida and changed it to Tamoshida, which is a questionable move. But given that character's story, and I immediately had Michael Hyam be just like message me and be like, "Why would you do this?" And I was like, "Listen, man, sometimes you gotta do it for the bands." So that's a good one. I can't remember the like I go through so many of them that I've like lost. I don't have a favorite at this point. I'm just doing it for the clout.
I'm taking a peek at chat, and then I see a lot of people turning on you now because of that. I have thought, oh wow, antidotes are so expensive. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
So
What can I sell? Beasthood. Awaken new without losing blood echoes. Whatever. We'll make this happen. We'll make this happen.
Yeah, don't worry about Beasthood. Beasthood is a thing that's very specific, and it's a novelty more than a useful thing.
I also have thought about fooling you and starting with Bloodborne and just starting to play Temtem instead, and it would be Temtem with Tam Jan.
I will
Jan
happily
Tam.
watch that as well. My expertise is less there,
sure,
but
sure.
I will happily watch it.
Oh man, this is a great game.
It's real good, but
Yeah.
yeah, I can understand why. So there is that item that you could potentially look for in your
right.
in your thing. I could just tell you, but I want to kind of see if you can figure it out. There's like a not an economy, but there's a. I want to see if you've got it first. Scroll. Keep going. Keep going.
And that's all I got.
Oh, yeah, you do have it. So there is even in the one line description there's there's an item which will, if you read it, give you
That's
a clue
not
as
it.
to. So, the thing that you're fighting is a beast. That's something that you need to know.
Which thrown to attract. Well, we'll see what this does. I don't know if this is what you're hinting
So what
at.
item are you on?
I am. What did I just pick? Jesus, what is this?
Yeah, you're on the right item.
Okay.
So basically, that's catnip. So wherever you throw it, the blood-starved beast will focus on being there because it wants to have a sniff and give it a little lick and see what it tastes like. So effectively, it's a get off me, but also it goes berserk and will attack that spot.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
if you throw it into a corner, it will just go into that corner and go wild in that corner for a little bit, and you're free to either hit it from behind or just back off and heal.
I was trying to work your name into saying Guardian Angel But I couldn't put the pieces to guard it. Tam ain't no.
Guardian, nah, it doesn't work.
We'll work on
I
it.
for a bit I was like I might just change the headline on the review on our site to Final Fantasy and see if anyone noticed. But then I was like that's gonna absolutely ruin SEO, so let's not do that.
SEO is always first, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, yeah.
All right, I got 0 bullets. I only got 4 of these. I think I only have 3 of the antidote
Do you know
stuff.
how to do the conversion for bullets, for extra bullets?
Yes, I hit up, and then I get rid of my life for a bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I only use that in like desperate times.
Tam, it's always desperate times with me.
You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. It's for me as well. Like whenever I play this game, regardless of how many times I've played it, it always gets me in some way. Like the last run I did was a boss that is on the totem pole of bosses, an easy boss, but something just did me in a way that I couldn't deal with it for a bit, and I had to like really take a break from that boss and go do something else and come back. And it's a boss that I've beaten like countless times. So there's something about this game that's just it always just figures out a way to get under your skin and put you on tilt, even if you know exactly what's gonna happen and how it should happen.
Yeah, I'm quickly figuring. Let me rephrase it. I'm slowly figuring all that stuff. Okay, let's see what this does. Okay, all right. Wow, that makes a world of a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, go over there. Go over there.
Wow, that was a brave throw. It's like you were between his butt cheeks and through it.
Oh lord, I forgot what I was about to say, but that's fine. I'm feeling better being back in sword mode, I'll say.
Yeah, it's. I'm not 100% sure, but it definitely feels like there's a lot more startup and frames on that attack when you're in whip form. It just doesn't feel consistent, and I think like a mental part of it is huge in this game. You want to feel like you can rely on your weapon, and that's one of the reasons the threaded cane is a tricky one. You just don't feel like you can 100% guarantee it's gonna hit the way you want it to.
Oh wow, my thing is on fire now.
That is a fantastic shout, by the way, because that is a specific weakness for this boss. You figured it out.
Fantastic. No, there we go. Arthur, do the thing. Alfred. His name's not Arthur. Why do I keep saying Arthur?
One day there was a bandit.
Tam, how long does this fire thing last?
It's not very long, but I mean, fire paper is in abundance in Yharnam, so you'll find loads and you can always buy more. It's surprisingly long, actually. Like it's not going to last the entire boss fight. Maybe like a minute or so. I don't remember using it a lot. I was more of an electric paper guy.
There's electric paper? How does... I'm not...
Yeah, you've
I mean, a
probably
guy
got
turned
it.
into a werewolf, so it's not the weirdest thing.
Yeah. So someone in the chat says you've got to get in there and not waste Alfred, which is, yeah, kind of true, but you don't want to go in too hard because then you'll get caught up in stuff like his swipes.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Alfred is going ham.
Leave me alone. Did I get rid of my antidote? I think I got rid of my antidote. We're okay. Okay, okay. Hit, pass. Oh.
Excuse me.
Your excuse, sir. Oh, Alfred, that didn't sound good. Nope.
Oh,
I keep just shooting to shoot. I don't need to do that.
yeah. The delay is bizarre because like you're future Trunks, but I'm like I'm still stuck in the old episodes. We're still shocked that Frieza's here.
Leave Arthur alone. I need him. Oh, okay. Well, he's gone now.
Oh. You're good. You're good.
Okay, I don't think I hit him there. Ah, stop it. Okay. Well,
I think you did hit him there actually.
leave. Oh, poison. Poison.
You got this. You got this. You got this.
I think I may have had it, but I gave up too soon there.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tam, would you mind if I like run around real quick and
Go for it.
try and accumulate?
Grind it out. So, I don't know what areas you have. Where do you usually grind around now?
There's like these two big boys by where the cleric beast starts.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty decent spot. The two werewolves on the bridge are also quite good.
Okay.
Um,
Let me go back there. Huh. Okay. All right. Yes. It's all data. My head is getting way too hot now. Do you miss being in the office?
yeah, desperately so. Like I honestly like I think again, as we mentioned before, like we're all kind of learning not to take even something as simple as an office for granted anymore. Like the amount of times I must have walked by you, Ben, various other members of my team, and just nodded instead of having a proper conversation, like now sticks out more than ever. Because it's
know.
like we always just took that stuff for granted, and like
Yeah,
these days, it's like we crave it.
I miss the IT people that I still don't know their names that constantly play on the fighting machines.
Oh yeah, those guys. So there's like a it's always at a specific time because there is a Slack where it's all arranged.
Oh.
So usually it's like, oh, now's the time. It's like it's 3-4 o'clock, everyone. So generally, I think there's a couple people from GameSpot that go, and a couple people from like the engineering design team, and they go at a time when it's low key, when it's like towards the end of the day. And usually there's not a lot of people around, but then there's a contingent of people that come from other parts of the floor where I'm not familiar with them, and they play like middle of the work day, and it's like those are the people that are like slamming keys.
Oh yeah, they do not care. Reckless abandon.
Yeah, and there was a guy for a while who would sit in the Tekken machine and have his front-facing camera on and record himself playing. And
Yeah, I know.
I
don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
I was like, yo, the content grind, that is wild.
Too real.
Yeah, it's like he's not even streaming the game. He's just streaming his effort.
He's in it for the clout.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm playing Tekken
For free.
Love an office. Yeah.
Oh, nuts. Some bad things are happening.
So you should the doorway nearby. If you stand there, they can't get through it.
Huh.
So you can stand at a safe distance, charge your R2, and just poke them from a distance.
Wow.
Occasionally they will do like a leaping attack that will just about break bounds and can clip you. So you just gotta be careful and keep an eye on your health. But
This is wow. This is a game changer, Tam. Oh, he's poking, but
yeah, he'll like sneak through his animation, but he'll never fully break through.
Huh.
So these are pretty good for farming blood vials. It's probably somewhere more effective, but this is like a comfortable spot where you can almost tune out. And you've got the run of the ogre on the side as well.
Oh boy. I need to forgetting everything now. Nope. Oh.
Honestly, like I would suggest maybe considering a different weapon. I know you're committed to the
I've invested
chain.
so much time in this, or stats in this tab.
Yeah, I mean your stats carry over. They're not specifically on your. I mean you might have upgraded the weapon slightly, but there's a wealth of potential out there that could make life slightly easier for you.
Tam, I'm gonna need you to not look at what's about to happen on the stream, um, because it's disappointing. It's a bad shout.
Oh no, he gets everyone. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, okay.
He gets everyone.
I have this spear thing. I'll try this out.
What other weapons do you have on you?
Let's see. I got just the saw spear and the threaded cane.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is probably better than the cane as is. So do you know how the stats work?
Vaguely.
Yeah, so basically it has scaling, and you can see the item next, the icon, and the better the scaling on the grade, the more you get out of it for pumping points into that attribute.
I
So
see.
if you've got like B scaling on a weapon, that means if you're B scaling for skill on a weapon, that means if you've got high skill points, you're going to get way better use out of it. So you want to try and like find a weapon that works with your stats, or at least if you pick a weapon, focus on that stat to push things forward. There's soft caps and hard caps in terms of
What
your
about pop
return.
caps?
There's no pop cap, sadly.
Okay.
Still mad that they ruined Peggle and they replaced Peggle with the mobile version of Peggle with that Peggle Blast or whatever, which is hot trash.
I think another thing that may be throwing me off is I've now gotten. Oh, I don't want both of them. Please die. Leave me alone. I've switched from playing right off of OBS into giving myself a monitor. So I feel like the timing is ever so slightly
Yeah.
off. Nope, did not get that one.
I think, yeah, for these lads, like you want to try and be in close, because if you try and go too far, they start that running animation,
Right.
and it's on the downswing that you want to hit him with a bullet.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. All right.
And like if you get hit, you don't let it put you on tilt, because the very next attack will give you that health back. So it's fine to take a hit. You just need to make sure you fire it off. That's why you want to be later, slightly later than you think it is usually, and take the risk that you might get clipped.
Copy. Okay. Let's get our souls back, and then I'll try and cash it in to buy stuff. People were suggesting that I buy this lantern that I have on me now, because it would help.
Help to see.
It is not really doing.
No, it's not a lot, but you'll be surprised how much comfort that lantern will give you in later on areas of the game. Even just a small glow around you feels warm, and it's wild how it sounds so stupid when I say this, but there's parts of the game that are so scary that just a slight warming light around you will give you enough to kind of venture forward. This is why this is the best game of all time, mate.
All right. What would you say is right behind Bloodborne? Not in any top rankings of all time, but for you personally, what is behind Bloodborne?
So I say this is the best game of all time, but I go back and forth whether it's my favorite game of all time. I think it probably is, but then there's certain games that I'm like, this. If I went with my heart, it would probably be Bloodborne, but I really love some of the Metal Gear games. Like Metal Gear 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. Metal Gear 5 I know has got a nonsense story, but I think it's the best stealth action game ever created, along with maybe Mark of the Ninja.
That's an interesting take. I like that.
I love those games. 2 is I cannot tell you the amount of hours I've plugged into Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid 2. I know it's perhaps not the most beloved game, but I think it's so interesting, and I love so many characters in there. I think Fat Man's an amazing character. There's so much to love in that game. The fact that they did that bait and switch. Like I hated it at the time, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, fair play. This is a smart thing. Super Metroid again is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's got a lot of what Dark Souls has, that ambience, that feeling. I think it's got one of the most powerful title screens ever created. Like that feeling of just being creeped out by the Metroid screeching sound. I remember just sticking with me. I think Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver is so underrated. The
Oh,
opening cutscene
oh
to
my
Soul
God.
Reaver
There's like
is
a handful of people I know in real life, or just know in general, that will be on the same boat with you and I about Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. I love that masked semi-human demon man guy.
yeah. I think the opening. I don't know if your chat. I mean, I'm sure your chat is familiar with it because Giant Bomb fans are real gamers. But like,
You heard it here
like
first, folks.
yeah, yeah.
Tamoor from
If you have
GameSpot has endorsed you.
If you haven't seen the opening cutscene for the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, just watch it. It is maybe like 3 or 4 minutes, and it is some of the best storytelling, world building, and characterization you will ever see in the space of that 3 minutes. It's written by Amy Hennig, who you might remember
Oh,
as the core writers of Uncharted. This is what she worked on before becoming, the Uncharted writer for 1 and 2. But it is just phenomenal, so good. And I think the fact that it's not been brought back and reworked in some way is one of the biggest wasted potentials of all time. I know a lot of people talk about their favorite franchises that we should be brought back, but Legacy of Kain it's a fully formed, fascinating vampire slash demons and universe, and like I always think about dream pairings, and From Software doing Legacy of Kain would
oh
be
snap!
unreal. Because like you look at the way their combat works, like especially Dark Souls, they have that lock on and circle strafe poke kind of mentality,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the same as you would do with Raziel, right? Like you'd
Yeah, yeah.
strafe, and then they'd go into that stupor animation. You pick them up and throw them onto a spike or into some water or onto some like sunlight. That like it works so well. But at the same time, like I think about Rocksteady also maybe doing it because the city, the world, like they could do an amazing job with Nosgoth, as the same way that they could, like From Software could do with Nosgoth. Um,
Uh-oh.
I wish that franchise would come back, and they had like for a bit. It almost came back with Dead Sun, which looked a bit different, but that got canned, and it's just like lying in a warehouse of IPs for Square Enix right now. I desperately hope someone brings it back. So that's one of my favorite games of all time as well. I'm a fighting game guy as well, but so Street Fighter is a big part of my life, and I've loved it for ages. But yeah, those I don't know if what I'd put behind. Probably behind Bloodborne would probably be Metal Gear Solid 3.
Huh. Okay, now completely random question here now, Tam. Uh,
Mm.
I am well aware that you, like myself, again, are a big fan of the Bodega Boys.
Oh yeah.
Don't talk to me in an Uber pool because I don't know you.
Yeah.
What? I two questions. One, what is your favorite drop on their soundboard? And two, what is your favorite AKA?
Oh man. Oh man. It goes from different day to day.
I know.
I really like Ben Barson, like as the AKA. Ben Barson. Ben, can you get the strap? Just gets me every time. Um, the current Cardi B coronavirus.
I think that's my favorite drop.
Is so good. I really love it. But there
The
are some other ones that I really adore. To this day is another one that gets me. And the what do you call it? The Keshi 69. Stupid. I'm gonna get the chance.
oh man, I can't believe they let that guy out of jail.
Yeah, and he's just out there on social media now.
Yeah.
Bodega Boys, like, I think if I didn't have the Bodega Boys podcast, and they are, like, who knew how contained they were in the studio, because now they're at home, they are wilding hard.
Oh yeah.
Like, there are points where, like, Mira is talking about pulling things up on a computer. I'm like, yo, are you sure about this?
I know it. It's like they have a pretty loose leash in terms of like who they, I guess, will report to. But even then, it's like the level of brazenness is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, very much like, to borrow one of their own sounds, like relax at times.
Yeah, for the folks at home that don't know, the Bodega Boys is a fine prop. Well, I mean, their
Viacom CBS
podcast.
property.
Yes. They have a show on Showtime. And I guess now with the new updates to Slack, we might be able to Slack them.
Let me check right now. I'm gonna have a look to see if they're there. They're almost certainly not there. Actually, I'm just typing the kid mirror into.
I forgot
No,
to
they're not there,
equip
sadly.
my antidotes again. I don't think I have any, just kidding. Oh! God.
Oh,
One day we'll be able to Slack them.
yeah. I keep like trying to. Me and Chaim keep talking about how can we get them in, because there's like their chat about games has increased exponentially lately, and they're doing like their own like Let's Play style series.
So I may or may not have a guy on the inside.
Oh, I've heard it. We should make this happen. This is the crossover that the world needs. The GameSpot Giant Bomb Bodega Boys podcast.
This would. I'm trying to think of how fast
We need to get to Uncle Victor.
people
See
could
what
get terminated, and how we could spin it. Because I feel like if you get them onto a couch with Jeff Gersman, and
Yeah.
they get Jeff to let his hair down, it would be a match made in heaven. And it would not help with you, me, and Chaim just further egging any and everyone on in the background.
Oh, that would be incredible.
God, I know there's some stuff they were going to do if this quarantine didn't happen that I don't want to spoil, and it might get my homie in trouble. But I'll tell you off air.
Yeah.
But it would have been amazing. Amazing.
Damn. Just get him on. Just get Jeff to do some Midnight Brown raps. Okay. See if it's real hip hop.
If there's ever a time when majority of the crew has to be out for whatever reasons for the bombcast, and then it's stuck with just me doing the things, the final hour will not be emails. It'll just be AKAs.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I would love that. I'd love to hear your AKAs. It's mad how like it's wild how I don't get bored of them.
Yeah.
There's some podcasts where they have like a ongoing like a thing they do at the end of every episode where I'm like, all right, I'm done. I know this is the end of the episode. But that I listen to it, and it's because they vary up slightly.
Yeah, there's sometimes they'll have full on additional conversations within the AKAs.
Yeah. Oh, the AKAs are just legendary. What a thing. What a thing. Just trying to explore your feelings more consensually.
Emphatic consent. Nothing but emphatic consent.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, we're good. We're fine. I don't have any bullets. I don't have any antidote. Oh, whoa. Now I got bullets.
You're in.
There we go.
You've got a lot of echoes as well right now.
I'm sorry, what?
You've got a lot of currency to spend as well.
Yeah. Do I?
It might be worth dipping back to.
Yeah, I apologize to clutter up your time, Tam, with me just grinding.
No, man, trust me. This is the stuff I live for. In my latest run, there was a bit where I was I think I grinded for about maybe 15 hours.
Wow.
Just this one run that's late in the game for just loads and loads and loads of souls. And I think I've hit the hard cap on every stat in the game. So I'm basically untouchable.
Jesus. I'd like to know what that feels like.
Oh, it feels good. It feels good. There's a video of me absolutely wrecking a boss in the Chalice dungeons. And it is the most satisfying. It's a boss appears and I do one visceral attack, and it's just its life bar just disappears.
Wow.
And it is. I'll see if I can find it, but like, it is. I haven't felt that turned on ever.
Relax, man. Relax.
Relax. And bit of Susio.
Uh, it's a. Oh
Yeah, I
man.
love this stuff. I love this stuff. This is the good stuff. Do you like the ambience of the world? Do you like being in the world? I know it freaks you out, and
I kind of I was talking about this before I called you. My partner and I, we recently watched Maze Runner because she really wanted to watch Maze Runner for some reason. Are you familiar with the series? The movie?
vaguely, I've never seen it myself, but I know of it.
Just think like Hunger Games, but like skewed towards like a possibly like younger audience.
Right.
And there's a portion in the second movie in the series where there's like these like fungus, borderline like Last of Us looking zombie infected people, and where everything looks wet, and that's what this game looks like. Everything's like
Yeah.
wet all the time.
This is a very greasy game. Everyone's feeling a bit sloppy, but it's part of the charm.
Definitely. Man, antidotes are so expensive.
They are. They don't come in to play in a big way after this boss, really. Like here and there, but you can get away with like never buying antidotes again. You'll find loads of them.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was stacked up earlier, but blasted through all of them because I realized I was being poisoned.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm really liking a lot of everything about this. I'm very curious about revisiting, or I keep saying revisiting like I've done it before, but like taking a peek at some of the other stuff.
I think the thing to go for is Sekiro if you want something a little bit different. It's more active and it feels a little more like not, I don't want to say fair, a little more like there's the roadblocks are few and far between. You get a lot of like enjoying some action gameplay before like someone comes up and is like, all right, I'm gonna wreck your stuff for about 5 hours now.
Okay, so Tam, based off where I'm at, right? When will I visit the dude in like the clock tower? Is it like relatively soon?
As in the guy shooting at you?
Yeah.
You could do that now.
Oh.
You're taking a route which is taking you directly to the boss.
I see.
So where are you? So you've passed the part where you could technically go and fight him. He's a tricky boss as well, but much less so than the Blood-Starved Beast. So do you remember the shortcut you opened? There was like a gate to come down here.
Yeah.
So behind you there, like there's a ladder, and that will take you up to him.
Oh boy, I should not die to this guy. Oh, what am I doing?
I've just found that Bloodborne video that I was talking about myself, and I'm watching it again, and I am very happy.
I'm impressed with you, and I haven't even seen it. Tam, there's also another secret project that Ben and I have been trying to get off the ground with you for a while.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And it's one of those things where I don't want to say it because I'd like it to be a surprise.
Yeah.
But I kind of just want to spill the beans, you know? But instead, I'll just heavily hint around it. Mother.
That wasn't the hint.
That was not it. We're not playing through Mother. Something I've been watching in my break time is a lot of anime movies. And specifically, one of my favorite, I don't know if it's a trope, I guess it's just a common thing that happens, is when you take a series like Dragon Ball, Bleach, Naruto, and you have a movie, and virtually everything in that movie has no consequences in the story, right? I recently, for the first time, watched Naruto the last movie,
Mm-hmm.
and wow,
Yeah.
I
There's some stuff in that movie that will.
I
Oh,
I've only teared up at like a couple of things
yeah.
related to
I know.
anime,
I know. I know exactly what you're talking about.
and it was like, wow, look at this. Oh man, he's grown up. He's a man now.
Yeah. And like the way the thing that happens there, I was like, yeah, this feels right. This feels good.
Yeah.
I'm
And
happy this happened.
and I know there's a lot of folks that will say that Naruto is trash. And you know, they're also not wrong.
Mm.
But if it's, I don't know, it's a weird journey. It's a weird journey.
Yeah. I think it is it's one that I hold like very dear because I went through the ups and downs. But I still do remember the extended arc about eating curry and running fast and the various other bullshit side arcs. But ultimately, like the highs are so high that the lows are just not visible. Like sometimes, um, what a show!
What a show.
What a beautiful show. Do you watch My Hero?
I haven't caught up on the latest season, but
Yeah, I'm behind because of the recent stuff. But
yeah.
yeah, that show, it hits the same way, like for me.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I feel like you may have the same answers I do in my head. Top 3 characters in Naruto. I'll share with you mine.
Go on.
1, Guy.
Mm-hmm.
2, Kakashi.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3, Rock Lee.
So mine is Rock Lee, Guy, and then the third one, I kind of want to give it to Itachi.
Oh wow.
I really like Itachi. His story was amazing, but yeah, I think it's probably Itachi, like Rock Lee, Guy, Itachi. Those are the like one of my what's your favorite fight? What was the fight that really like made you think, oh, I see what this is? Because my one is, I remember, so like the show was recommended to me by my cousin, and I remember being like, I'm not sure about this. And then there was one fight where I was like, actually, I'm in. I watched this fight, and he was like, what? That fight of all of them? Why? And this was early days fight, but it was the Sakura versus Ino fight during the tuning exams.
That, yeah, I share
Yeah.
the same sentiment as your cousin. That's the fight, huh?
So I think that was the first fight where like it all made sense. Like it wasn't just a shonen anime about smashing each other to bits and punching the crap at each other. It was like this tactical, like smart chess play, and it was like that fight. I think is one of the best examples of like characterization, personality, history, and then using these specific ninja powers not to overwhelm but outmaneuver. Because it was like that Shinto Shin no Jitsu, like transferring psyche, consciousness, and controlling. And it had that same effect is seen in like the Shikamaru versus Temari fight, where it's not about like, it's not one of the Naruto versus Sasuke fights where it's like who's more powerful. It's like who's smarter.
Yeah.
And the fact that the way that Shikamaru fight ends is like, that blew me away. Where the final moment where what he does, I was like, this show is very smart. I love that they did that. They didn't like pander to power levels. They did the smart thing, and they were true to the character in this moment. And that's like, those are the two fights that stand out. Like as like these are the coolest examples of what this show is about. But like pure hype, it's Rock Lee versus Gaara.
Oh,
and then
totally.
it's, you know, Guy versus the final villain, who I won't name just in case people are watching.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he basically almost beats up God, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like at the cost of himself, and like Guy and what you call it, Rock Lee, they're not character-wise, they're not all that different from All Might, right? And
Oh, totally.
even Deku, they're the same kind of relationship dynamic where you know, All Might is kind of always wrecking himself to get things done, and the same can be said of Deku, who's like technically all he has is taijutsu. You know,
I never made that comparison till now. Yeah.
Yeah, he was powerless, so he can't do ninjutsu genjutsu. So he is the Rock Lee of My Hero Academia, which is why I think he's great. Who's your favorite My Hero character?
Oh, I really like. Well, okay, I can take a break and talk now. I
I'm sorry for impeding any progress. I bet you if I wasn't here, you'd done this ages ago.
nonsense. You're helping distract me from the misery that would be my loneliness and this game. You are the Alfred right now. I've summoned you. See, it worked out this way that I asked you for this, and then you came, just like Alfred's coming to help me out. Um, Dude, I don't know. I kind of like All Might because of just how cheesy he is as a character. Um, and I kind of just like that campiness of the character that he is. Plus, like, he does genuinely care and whatnot. And there is like a depth to his character.
Yeah.
I like.
I did a feature a real long time ago actually on GameSpot Universe, which was like, My Hero Academia is a Superman story done right, like, and because he is Superman, right? He's modeled after Superman in a lot of ways, but there's a part of Superman that's just never done. There's an interesting part of Superman that is never gonna be explored, and that's what happens. It is explored in small ways, but like, what happens in a world where Superman doesn't exist? And this is the story, like My Hero Academia is the story of Superman realizing that it's like Superman for all seasons, where he realizes his time is coming to an end. And instead of just in that show, in like All Star Superman, and I think it's All Star Superman, where he's like, it's either All Star Superman or Superman for all seasons, where he's just sorting out his final affairs. He's just tying up his loose ends before he kicks it. This is like All Might realizes, I need to train the Teen Titans to be my successors, and that's what this show is, right? Like, and it's a far more interesting story about it, and that's why I think I'm on board with what you say. Is like, he's cheesy, but there's something special about him that's so endearing.
Oh, totally. Oh boy.
Great character.
Leave me alone.
I love him. I think the character I think I really like. I know a lot of people like Bakuto and Todoroki and that kind of stuff. But there's like a few side characters that are really good that I think are super cool. I think Kaminari is quite funny.
I like the comic relief that he provides.
Yeah,
They've also brought. I can't. You may not have caught up, but I've brought a little friend with us. Oh, now I dropped them off. Never mind.
Is he gone? Ah,
I dropped the friend.
there he is. I see him. I love it when that happens. I really like Tokoyami. I think he's really cool. The bird lad.
Oh yeah, I love the bird guy, just because
so
it
good.
never gets explained as to why he has a bird head.
Yeah, there's also like Snipe Sensei, who's just basically McCree.
Yeah,
the teacher, which is great. And Ectoplasm is quite funny because it's like that first scene in the first arc, sorry, where he appears and then like he attacks Nomu, and all the other versions of him appear and they're like flying alongside him. I was like, that's sick.
Oh man, anime's great. I don't know
Anime's
if anyone's ever told you
fantastic.
that. Also,
I
I think
love
that
that.
the dumbest one is Best Genist.
Best Genist is a very power, but he actually I think he's hero rank number 3 at when they first reveal him. So he's
Yeah.
incredibly powerful. Yeah. Which is wild. Gran Torino's great as well. I love the fact that they've got Mega Man as in that game.
Yeah, it took me like the first time he got introduced, I was thinking like, man, this guy looks really familiar. I just can't place where. And then I think like, I don't know. I guess I saw some Mega Man stuff, and then like I ran over to like my phone to pull up a picture, and was like, oh my god, they're the same person. This is if Dr.
They're
Light was
basically
Mega
just
Man.
giant feet.
Yeah, very thick calves,
thick boy.
thick boy.
I don't know how far you are, but Lemillion, have you reached that area?
In My Hero,
Yeah.
Lemillion.
So you will find you'll come across a character you might have met him, but you don't know him as Lemillion. But
Oh, okay.
that hero is like when there was a recent series of episodes where he's the focus and he's fighting some big fights, and honestly, like, it is like hair raising and so like chilling how amazing that character is. Like there's some scenes, there's some fights that you're just like, I might cry. I might cry. This is too good. This is too good. And I definitely had that, like standing up, pumping your fists at how amazing he is. But I think you'd like him.
So Tam, I think I'm gonna give this specific boss maybe like
One more chance.
one more, maybe one more, and then maybe I'll try and explore around in interest of content.
Yeah, I'll probably join you for this, and just in the interest in helping you make progress, so the stream chat isn't like, oh, why is he talking and losing? I'll probably leave you to explore at your own
Nonsense.
pace. Also because I've seen my emails pile up, and I'm like, yo.
Oh boy. Yeah, how's I gotta ask, like Vinny, Jason, and I, we got pulled into like a video producer Slack channel with y'all's video producers, and the Slack channel was just going at a mile a minute. So I mean, how's the workload been, dude?
It's a lot. Like it's so recently. People may not know, but Peter Brown, who is a familiar face in Giant Bomb stuff. You guys mentioned him usually in the context of like retro stuff. He's one of the most knowledgeable people when it comes to like old school gaming and even modern stuff. Like he's one of the smartest people in the industry.
Very well spoken, very soft spoken at the same time.
Very soft spoken, funny guy. He recently left GameSpot, and he was managing editor, and in his stead, I've stepped in to kind of take the acting editor role, So I've got way more things to do now than ever before. Before that, I was head of news, so I was basically doing news nonstop all day, every day. But because of like that change, my role has switched, and I'm like thinking in different ways now. So it's a lot of work. I'm being pulled into things that I didn't need to expose myself to before. Like I had an outside view in.
Oh no.
But it's all fascinating and interesting things, and it is a lot of work, but and especially within the current circumstances, it's trickier to, a thing that I've noticed since moving over here is Americans love a meeting. Americans really love meetings. And sometimes I'm like it's not that way in I don't think it's as bad in like British culture where everything needs to be a meeting, but it feels like you can't make any progress in anything, or people aren't willing to have conversations outside of a meeting saying.
Interesting.
And like that's something that I'm slowly getting used to, still trying to get used to. And usually meetings are a tricky back and forth of discussions as is when you're in person, but when you're in person you have the advantage of being able to look at the other person, connect, and come to an understanding quicker, and read their body language and figure out, things here and there, and get stuff done in a way. But that's trickier when you're remote. So I think that's the difficult part of it, and it feels like we have to put in extra effort to get things that would have been relatively easy done. So I think that's the trickiest part of working remotely, and I'm sure it's the same for you, whether that's in like production or just making things happen.
Production is such a nightmare in terms of trying to make sure everyone's setup is as similar as we can get across the board. And we have a relatively small team, but even then, like getting everything in a good enough state across the board is rough and causing.
And, like you guys are doing a great job of it though. Like I know your Final Fantasy 7 Quick Look was a different kind of thing for you guys, but like I watched it and it worked like super fine. Like I enjoyed it, and I got everything I needed to out of it, and it was fun. And and I think despite the challenges you face, you guys seem to be like rising to that challenge pretty well.
I appreciate it, dude.
No worries, man.
I've been needing to read more content, and I gotta say, buddy, and this isn't me just blowing smoke up your butt. You got a really eloquent way of writing.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh man, if you could see, one of these days I'm gonna live stream like the process of writing a review, because that one was holy moly. It took me about 15 hours of straight writing. And I like wrote it and threw it away and then redid it 3 times. And like it's a lot of stress of like making progress and then realizing this isn't where it needs to be, and then throwing it away and then trying to do it again but not fall into that same rhythm and start saying the same thing as you said before. So
Right.
there's like 3 completely different versions of my review for this game, and the one that I published was the one I was most happy with. But yeah, I think it was a fun process, and I always enjoy writing. The process of it is difficult.
Yeah.
I appreciate the kind words.
I have thought about asking, and I'm not an editor, but I have thought about asking, hey, could I like maybe interview or not interview? Oh boy, things are going so well until I start thinking. Okay. I have thought about asking if I could review Final Fantasy VII, but that's kind of too monumental of a task for someone with my level of writing chops.
Hey man, I think anyone. No, I'm not saying that anyone can do it, but I think a lot. You're in a position where you've got enough people with so much experience that your ramp up to getting good at it would be way quicker than anyone else. Whether that's like speaking to people like, Jeff, who's been reviewing games forever, and Alex, who was in charge of reviews for GameSpot for a period, if I remember correctly. Brad has been writing reviews forever. Like, you're in the ideal situation to get real good at writing a review super quickly. So I don't know. Maybe
maybe
don't start. I wouldn't recommend starting with Final Fantasy because that's a lot. But
I'll just start
it's fun
reviewing
to do.
the Final Fantasy starting from 1, and then by the time I get to the remake,
It'll
maybe
be
I'll
complete.
yeah. So Tam, I don't want to keep you for any more of your time, and I honestly don't know how much more I can stand with this right now. But thanks for joining me, buddy.
No worries, man. Thank you for having me.
Also, where should I go if I don't want to fight the thing again?
So don't go down there.
Don't go.
Go back. So
I gotta go.
you've already So don't fall down. So instead of when you come out, you need to take the route left and fight through the enemies there. So I think you're beyond the point of return on this one. So
Sure.
you can, but you could technically backtrack if you wanted to. So just follow the path naturally, and you'll find. You can use Jura up in the tower as your guide. Just walk towards him always. But you'll reach a point where there's a gate on your right-hand side, and you can take that down via a ladder, I believe, or some steps. It's basically behind that. Don't go through that gate, and don't go through the chapel all the way. It's right there. I'm sure your chat can guide you a bit better, but I think someone mentioned it's where that glitched out hunter was when you were last here. It's there. So you climb up a really long Metal Gear 3 style ladder and go up there, and he'll be waiting there for you.
Okay.
The alternate thing is you could skip him entirely. It doesn't. This is something I'm okay with telling you because there's a distinct chance most people get through the game and never realize this. If you skip him right now, you can still progress in the game, and eventually you'll loop back round, and he won't be hostile to you, and he'll actually you can chat to him.
Interesting.
Because if you go through this now, and this is what I would probably just recommend there and whooping his ass if you can. But he won't attack you, and you can have a chat with him, and you can maybe learn a few things from him.
Okay.
But that is a tricky kind of thing that it will pay off many hours later.
What is also a tricky thing is of scheduling time, and I appreciate you, Tam, for scheduling time to hang out with me.
Thank you so much. Anytime you want to do it again, hit me up.
Hell yeah, buddy. I got to get you on again to talk about some animes with
for sure.
Benjamin and I.
I'm down. All right, have fun. Take care.
Sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye. To
Bye-bye.
a giant bomb, lads. Bye.
And then let us disconnect from that. Thank you again, Tam, for joining us. So now, folks, it's just you and me. All of you and me. I am not feeling completely broken just yet. It's feeling just warm. And at the beginning of this, I was feeling very cold. And I have no tea now. Whatever. Anyway, still got about 14 minutes left on the clock before we pass it off to Mr. Jason. And you know what? We're just gonna... I got like 11 of these blood vials. I can upgrade my weapon. Okay, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make a very, very spicy run for the blood person guy, beast flap man. And then if that doesn't go through, I will do some exploring. Good old exploring. Oh man, this game's good. I'm kind of really disappointed in myself that I got very, very close to beating the boss here. But I'm learning stuff. Also, for the folks watching this in the archive, I've been fudging with some settings, so it'll look better because how I've been having to do it is the most haphazard way possible. So I'm now able to record at a slightly higher bitrate than I was earlier, which I'm happy about. Also, oh my god, part of the reason that I think we've explained this to death a bunch of times, why we had to do the Final Fantasy VII remake quick look, how I had to pass Brad my save. It's because Brad has amazing internet. Ben and I both have not the best internet, but an okay enough network. Leave me alone. Go away. Stop. Just leave. Just leave. But I've calculated the math. I did the math. And it would be much more cost effective, or I'd be pretty much paying the same price if I wound up going for a different internet service provider with come on. Okay. The different internet service provider would be paying the same price. So hopefully I can start getting the good speeds that Brad has. Okay. In the butt. Missed. Nope. Can I cancel out of that charge? Oh boy. Arthur, buddy. Also, is this what playing with another person is kind of like? That they can also just wail away and draw aggro? Because, I might maybe finally connect online once I get the good in terms of internet. And maybe call upon y'all, the Giant Bomb universe. Unless you guys just want me to only ever play this alone. But also, shouts out to Tam for popping through and stuff. Supposed to get him early this week, but he was gracious enough to play along with my schedule. Okay. There we go. Okay. Both of us missed it. That's fine. I wonder, actually. No, that's not it. That would not deal with the timing of anything. I'm also playing way too conservatively. I was going to say, I'm listening to the mix that you guys are hearing. And maybe that would have something to do with the timing. But no, it's all visual for the most part. Huh? Nope. And come on. Nope. Okay, it's fine. We're fine. I'm not getting this parry. I think we both hit each other there. Oh boy. After this, we'll double check the shop in the Hunter's Realm Den Realm. Because I think there was another weapon I could have bought there. Nope. Stop it. Oh boy, poison, poison. Okay, cool. Cool. We're in a good spot. Arthur, do your thing. His name's not Arthur. Why do I keep saying Arthur? Wow, we're low on all of our supplies now. Okay, I'll take it. Alfred, stick around. We said we'd get spicy. We gotta get spicy, but we got like smart spicy. Like a really intelligent hot sauce. Don't know what that means. Arthur, heal up, buddy. Oh, Arthur. Oh, that's not an antidote. Okay. Oop. Oh boy. Okay. Not the best run we've had at whatever this thing is called. Any mods in the chat? I'd actually request. You know, I can run a poll real quick. I don't know. What's the other one? Trails of blah blah blah. Enter a poll question. Which one should I just dive into? Question mark. I saw some chatter in my periphery. Also, I think what's not helping is I can't see y'all as clearly now because I have the side monitor here versus playing it off of my OBS screen. So I don't have you guys just like right there, and I'm missing you. That's what's happening. Okay. Let me just double check Slack because is this okay, all right. Well, the poll for the folks watching live, Benjamin is planning on doing a very long stream of Skyrim, I think, Oblivion or whatever, one of the Elder Scrolls games. And I kind of wanted to pull from that also, and just I didn't want to do an Elder Scrolls game because it's not really my cup of tea. You know, we only got 3 blood vials. Let's just go at it. And you know, I'm not the most. This may sound blasphemous, but I am admittedly not. Final Fantasy Tactics is probably one of my top 3 advance games of all time, but the Final Fantasy series as a whole, I've kind of like dipped in and out. You know, I did 8, played through 9 with a cousin, godbrother. Not that that matters. Shouts out to Jonathan. I miss you, buddy. Congratulations on getting married. Better be invited to this wedding. Oh, that was a fun leap. Oh boy. Does everything just poison me now? I played 10, played 10-2, 11 wasn't a thing that I could have played it at the time. I should use one of these last remaining vials I have. Did I play 12? I think I went in and out of 12. 13. I didn't check out any of the 13s. 14. Y'all have known that I've tried to dip my toes in. 15, in and out. But like the earlier ones, like at 1 to 7, I haven't really played. And I thought, hey, why don't we just like veg out for a bit, and then I just play through all of them. And you know, I am always reading comments and tweets and Reddit. Oh boy, he messed up my stuff. Alfred, do your thing. I think I missed. And I missed. In the butt. Okay, cool off. Alright. Alright, we're gonna get behind him here, charge up. Boop. We're just gonna employ the pillar strategy. And pillar tech. Missed. Pillar tech. 2. I think I hit him. And whoop. And for the folks that are watching live, I threw other games in chat as maybe an option instead of Final Fantasy. And I realized, you know, there's a ton of other great RPG series that haven't been covered to... gotta pop my last one. Have not been covered to death. But, you know, Final Fantasy just sounds so funny. Okay, I need my health back, please. Arthur. It's not Arthur. Alfred. Nope, missed. Am I poisoned? Oh, is it only when that bar fills up that I get fully poisoned? Oh boy, oh boy. Please. Leave me alone. Alfred, my friend. We're rocking. I think I may have to do some grinding in between episodes of this. Roll away, roll away. To build up enough stuff. But I think I got it in a good place. One more. Okay, I keep missing that thrust. I'm gonna stop doing that. Leave my friend. Wow, he's invincible while he's doing that, huh? Then another one. Okay. Oh, come on. That actually wasn't that bad for trying to do a spicy run. Crosscode's good. I will also take in any. Actually, kill Jan. Let's go a little intense. Take any. What's it called? I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. Let's go back to the Hunter's Dream, and let's reassess the situation here. Suggestions. Thank you. Suggestions for JRPGs to play through. I've always been vaguely interested in the Witcher series, but it's kind of not really my thing, not my bag. Yeah, maybe we'll just get into Monster Rancher. Is Monster Rancher, or is like PS1 emulation in a spot where you could like simulate putting in other CDs to get the monsters? Oh, you know, Xenoblade, Xenosaga, I've always been into. Vandal Hearts. I'm going to write that down. Sounds vaguely familiar. Vandal Hearts. Also, keep in mind, folks, if you're going to leave any suggestions, it helps if there is a word or part of the thing in there that part of the title that ends with an AN, because, you know, I can just add my name. It's not me being vain at all, I promise. I thought I had some of the blood stuff, like the echo things. I thought I had those. I guess I don't. Let's go into the storage box. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, I see. 36? Is that a lot of these? Oh, right. We learned about tempering last time. This is only... More blood. Oh, okay. 240. Oh, that's nothing. Well, I know we don't have any blood vials, but let's go exploring. And, you know, I want to... It's not that we haven't gained anything or learned anything. We've learned a lot today. Cool Jade Cocoon. I actually have a copy of Jade Cocoon 2. I just don't have any way to ingest my PS2 into my current setup. Oh, you know what is a game that I absolutely love, and if we were in studio, I would keep pushing. Oh, Jade Empire. Y'all like Jade Empire? I like Jade Empire. I've never played Jade Empire, but it's a game. That runs on everything now, right? Okay. We don't want to drop down there. Where was the shortcut that we unlocked? Because I remember unlocking it. Well, you know what? Let's just drop down here and see what type of shenanigans we can come across if we go somewhere else. Yeah. I didn't see what was up here. Okay, nothing. Oh, excuse me. Grandia 1 and 2. Oh, man. I remember, hey, not cool, buddy. I remember looking at a Grandia game. It was either in a magazine or maybe it was like a game store. I wanted to get it. I don't know why. But then my mom saw it and saw that there was a lot of reading, and she thought I'd be bored. And, you know, at the time, I probably would have been bored playing through it as a kid. That she said, nah, we're going to skip this one, buddy. Okay, so we pop out of here. Got our little werewolf friend. that was cool. Bloodstone shards. Doesn't look like we can go anywhere there. You know, other than Cyber Sleuth, I've not played any of the Digimon games. There was like a Digimon fighting game that I actually really liked. Where did this guy come from? Stop it. I knew this werewolf popped in last time. But I thought he had followed me. I don't know. Darth Lex, not Alex. In regards to your question, don't want to read it out loud. If you want to find it, scroll through chat. Yes. Yes. Yes, Digimon Rumble is what it was called. Oh boy. Alright, there's this werewolf. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Oh boy. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, we're good. We're okay. Stop it. Stop it. Ah, dang it. I used to have this coworker where any time he got very frustrated. You ever been scared of when someone sits down? Not because you think they're going to break their chair, but you can just feel their rage. Whenever he would get frustrated at work, he would just put his hands in his face like this and just go, and like just vibrate. He wouldn't shake or like scream or like groan or anything. He would just like vibrate in rage. And yeah, it's fun to be around. Not at all toxic and stuff. Okay. All right. There's a lot of bad dudes that were coming out there. Do we just run through here again? And for the record, I'm not talking about any existing coworkers. Talking about former coworkers. None that you may have seen on TV. Okay, I forget what. Did I unlock a shortcut around here? Oops. 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 Don't. I fell. I'm dead. Damn it. I think I'm hitting a wall. Okay. Okay. You know what? I might. No. If I was the last slot today, I just toss it to something else. But here we are. Yeah, nothing to lose now. Just speedrun, right? No souls. Yeah, after me, and I think I'm wrapping up in like about like 10, 12-ish minutes. We're going to throw it over to Mr. Jason. And he, once again, is going to wrap up the day. And, you know, looking forward to that. Also, it's Wednesday. Weird. Not weird that it's like a Wednesday, but I don't know where I'm going with that. All my thoughts are melding together. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Give me what you got. Bloodstone shards. Those are used to upgrade weapons, right? I am kind of tempted to do a single run of One Step from Eden, but that's also very hard. That I don't. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! That is also a very hard game, but it's actually that's a de-stressor. You know what's technically a JRPG is the Mega Man Battle Network series. Oh, I can't summon him because this guy's here. I do not have my Switch or my dock nearby. Oh, stop it. Why can't I do this now? Does Alfred not want any of my shit? Interesting. Oh, I need insight. I low-key thought of something that could have been borderline offensive, so I'm not going to say it. We're just going to get in there. Game Boy Advance emulation is at an okay enough point now, right? It has to be. So maybe I'll dig out some Battle Network or something after we try our hand one more time. Okay. I just want to try and see this parry window, huh? Uh-huh. Okay, that was not it. Nope, that was also not it. MGBA, I'll write that down. Okay. Alright, a little bit early is what I'm seeing. Maybe I just gotta look at the downward swing. Tatum said something about downward swings. Jan Tamsi. Jan Tamsi. Folks, we're going to go down to black. But I might try and load some stuff up. So for the folks watching the archive of this, just going to do a quick run of One Step from Eden. But for the folks watching the archive of this, we'll get them next time, y'all. And once again, shouts out to Tam for popping in and joining us. I welcomed his company, and I welcome your company. Count down with me, folks, in 3, 2, 1. Fade in a black. I've also